Okay, so for today's look, we're going to do Smokey with some golds and plums. So first we're going to prep our eye with a concealer. So I'm going to use a Face Atelier in medium. And apply the concealer all over your eye. Just to cut out the discoloration. It's great for a primer, and then we can start. Just set it with a little bit of powder, and then we're good to go. Okay, so all over our lid, we're going to apply a golden color. I'm going to use MAC in Myth. So it's a really, really frosted golden color. And you apply this all over your eyelid. Up to your crease bone and just across. So it's just a wash of color essentially. Next, we're going to go into our plums. So the first plum color I'm going to use is MAC Sketch. So it is that color. So it's a plum, really, really soft with a hint of a gold in it. So just pulls everything together. With your fluffy brush, just into your crease is where you'll blend in the color. There, so it should start looking like that right now. Next, just get a flat-ended brush. I'm going to use MAC in Tracks. So the same palette I just showed you, except it's that color. So it's a relatively deep plum. And you're just going to pull it from the outside of your eye in. Okay, so if you'd like, you can just continue to intensify the outer corner with the dark color. And it's easy to get intensity by just patting the color so it stays, and then going through with a fluffy brush and just pulling it across. So all you're doing is blending. So now you're starting to get more of the diffusion from the golden into the deep plum. If you want a bit more intensity, what you can do is right where you have the plum right here, add a tinge of black. So on the same brush, just put a bit of black eyeshadow blending in. So you don't want it to be too much, otherwise it's going to cover your plum, but just to add that little bit extra intensity to the eye. If you want, go back in with your golden color, right to your lid here, and pull it across to the opposite side of your eye, just to get that boldness in the inner side, in the inner duct of your eye, and just blending it all through. So there, it's starting to look like that. Next, we'll do our eyeliner. Okay, so for our eyeliner, instead of using a black or a brown or even a gray, we're actually going to go in and use a plum. So we're going to stay with the same theme of plum. I'm going to use a loose pigment. So it's Face Atelier Shimmer in Aubergine, and it's just a really intense purple, if you can see it there. And what we're going to do is instead of using it as an eyeshadow, get an angle brush, apply some water to your brush, and then just go right into the pigment itself. So when you pick it up, this is a loose pigment, you put it on your hand, just kind of blend it like that, and you're actually creating a liquid liner. And then just apply it from your inner duct to the outer duct, depending on the thickness. All is up to you. Next, what we're going to do is, again, same angle brush, dip it again into water. And this time we're going to use a cake eyeliner. So what you're going to do is, it's in black, so it's any liquid liner. Just apply it to your brush. And instead of covering the entire line you just created, right at your lash bed where your lash, top lash meets your eyelid, is where you apply a really thin line of black. So it just intensifies your eye color and also gives the illusion of thicker, denser lashes. So very thinly, you apply it right in here. Okay, so for your bottom lash line here, instead of doing a bold color, I'm actually going to stick to a gold. So it's just a different take on applying a liner to the bottom of your eye. So we're going to use the same gold color that I applied to our eyelid here. And with a really, really thick angle brush, just go into your color. And you're just going to brush it from here all the way across. The next step is to do our highlight on our brow bone. So I'm going to use Face Atelier Shimmer in Champagne. And just with a thick angle brush, just apply it right to your brow bone. And down. So I'm going to finish my left eye, and then we'll start to do our skin. Okay, so now both eyes are done, and they should look something like that. So all of this messiness is going to be cleaned up with our foundation, but this is essentially our eyeshadow work. For foundation, I'm going to use today Makeup Forever HD in number 150, and I'm going to mix in a bit of NARS Orgasm Illuminator into it. So the ratio is going to be about 50-50. You can use a foundation brush, sponge, your fingers if you like, but a really cool trick that I recently figured out is getting a sponge and applying your foundation with a sponge a little bit damp. So I'm going to use my Beauty Blender. It's a little bit damp, and just apply your makeup all over as you normally would. Okay, so your foundation's done right now. Next you go into your concealer. So the same concealer we used on our eyelid is Face Atelier. I'm using it in medium. Just apply it under your eyes and in any other area you feel that you need concealing. Okay, so next we're going to set our foundation and our concealer with a powder. I'm going to use today L'Oreal Setting Powder in C3. Just apply it really, really lightly across your face. This just helps set your foundation, and you still want to have the dewiness coming through that you got with your NARS Illuminating. Next, for a little bit of bronzing. So I'm going to use a bronzer, Guerlain. It's one of my favorites. It's called Terracotta. It's really nice because it has kind of like a mosaic of different colors. So you get a really, really natural finish of bronzer. And you apply bronzer just where the sun would actually hit your face, so all the raised areas. And you just apply this lightly just to get a little bit of a sun-kissed feel. Okay, and with your same bronzer, I'm going to use this for my contouring. So apply it to an angle brush, and just right in the hollows of your cheek is where you apply this tone. And then we're going to go right on top of that with some blush. So with my blush, I always like to mix colors together just to get two really nice pigments combined. So I'm going to use two products. They're both MAC. This one's Flirt and Tease. This one's called Blush Baby. Blush Baby is a bit more of a neutral, while Flirt and Tease has that plum in it. So just apply both to your blush brush, smile, apply to your apples, and upwards. And right on top of our blush is where we apply our highlighter. So I'm going to use Stila Illuminating Finishing Powder in Gold. So it's a frosted powder, and I'm actually going to apply it with a damp sponge. Apply it to the product, and then you're just going to pat it right in here. So it's really nice how you just get that illuminating finish on the skin. I'm going to apply it down my nose, and then I'm going to go back over and add just a little bit of contour into my nose. So your same bronzer that I used before, which is Guerlain, and just with a really, really, really fluffy brush, like this one, just go into your bronzer, tap off some excess, and just contour right down the bridge of your nose. So you don't want too much contour, you just see, it just adds a bit of structure. Okay, next we're going to do some eyebrows. Okay, so for my brows, I'm going to use powder today, and it's going to be the Annabelle Brow Duo in Brunette, and I'm going to stick with the lighter tone. I know it looks quite light, but it actually comes out relatively dark, and it's a perfect powder for my brow. So you just go into your brow. I always like adding a bit of extra definition right at your arch, so it just gives your face a bit more of a lift. Okay, and on my lips, I want to keep a gloss effect on my lips because the eyes are relatively soft. I want to use glosses, so I'm going to use MAC Love Child and NARS in Greek Holiday. So if you can see, this is a bit more of a plum undertone, and this has some golden into it, so it's kind of incorporating both of the looks today. And just apply it all over your lip. Okay, so as usual, curling your lashes is an option, or if you want to add some false lashes, you could do that now. Otherwise, if you're going to use mascara, I'm going to use MAC False Lashes in black. Apply to your bottom lashes, and then your top lashes, and then add a double layer. Okay, so we're all finished. Today's look is all about fresh, dewy skin, soft, smoky eyes, and glossy lips. The one step you can do, if you want a bit more intensity, is to line your waterline, so just in there with a black or a gray eyeliner. So right now, this is the look without it lined. So I'll just come a bit closer so you can see how the eyes look. And then if you want a bit more definition, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so if you did want to take this look one step further, you would just apply a black eyeliner to your waterline. I'm using Annabelle in black, and it's a kohl pencil. And just pull your eye down and apply your black just like this. Okay, so there we have it, our finished smoky look. You can alter any colors. If you don't want to have a purple, you can have it a green, a brown, but it just goes to show you that don't be afraid to experiment with colors, and opposites do complement. Hope you had fun tonight.